Well, that one was certainly interesting. Ah, that was interesting. Welcome, everybody, to Netflix Nights number 32, where I'll be talking about Bright. But before we do, let's see what the good folks over at Netflix have for a synopsis first today, shall we? In an LA rife with interspecies tensions, a human cop and his orc partner stumble on a powerful object and become embroiled in a prophesized turf war. Rated TVMA and from 2017. And, you know, I really wanted to talk about this movie specifically when I got back to doing these again because, man, this one really divided a lot of people. Seriously, it really did. And the question is, did it divide me? Am I divided by this whole entire movie? Did I like it? Did I hate it? Let's start with the basics here. This movie is directed by David Ayer and it's written by Max Landis. Now, David Ayer is a great director. He's directed Fury, End of Watch. He's written a lot of great cop dramas. He's also done stuff like Suicide Squad, which is not very good. He also did the movie Sabotage with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not very good. Then you have Max Landis, who's the writer, who did things like Chronicle. Fantastic. Then he did things like American Ultra. Not so great. And he's done other stuff that's been very questionable. I guess what I'm saying is that these two people, they've made good stuff and they've made not so good stuff. And I guess it really depends on your point of view. If you see these two people and you say, wow, these people could be a recipe for greatness or they could be a recipe for disaster. I think there's a lot of greatness that could be taken from these guys. They just have to have the right kind of script. They have to have the right kind of direction they want to take a movie, and I think they could do fantastic with it. It's been shown before. And on the flip side of that, you have actors like Will Smith, who I loved Will Smith back in the day. Nowadays, I'm not so much a big Will Smith guy. I think the last thing I really loved Will Smith in, I'm probably going to have to say iRobot. I mean, beyond that, I can't say I've loved him in a lot of stuff he's done as of late. And that even includes Suicide Squad. I wasn't in love with him in Suicide Squad. You also have Joel Edgerton, who plays the orcish cop. And Joel Edgerton's fantastic. So I can't hate on Joel Edgerton all that much. He's a great, great actor. You know, so you have those team up of people as well. So how did this all turn out? Look, at the end of the day, this movie is about two cops who are two very different types of people and who have to get along for the sake of getting along because, you know, they have no other choice. And their their sort of their devotion to their work and their sort of bond that they have as police officers really come into question when they find this sort of magical wand that everybody wants. And basically this magical wand can basically do anything. If you have any kind of fantasies or desires, this will grant you it. You're living in a winter snowy state that is incredibly cold and you want to go to Hawaii for like, you know, a week. There you go. You got it. You know, you want $1 million. There you go. You got it. If you're paralyzed and you want to walk, you go ahead and you got it. So this is highly desirable by a lot of people. And basically, Will Smith and Joel Edgerton, they have to protect this and try to get it to the proper people before it lands in the hands of somebody who is not going to do good with it, put it that way. And what's great about this movie as well is that this movie takes place in a world where orcs, fairies, elves, they live in this world where basically all of these are very commonplace. And the idea that they all live amongst each other, and it's just a matter of fact that this is how life is. And that there's really no kind of background or story of like how this all happened. I assume that maybe we could get something about it down the road, maybe in a sequel, but it's just is what it is. You open the film and everyone's living together in not very harmonious ways, and that there's turf wars, and orcs hate humans, and elves are very snobbish and rich, and fairies are just a pain in the ass, and this is how life is. Okay, fair enough. I do want to say I really like the acting in this movie. Will Smith, I think, does a fantastic job in this movie, and he plays that sort of witty, sarcastic guy that he's played in many other movies and very successfully. He's done a great job, and he's really awesome in this movie. I think when you allow Will Smith to be Will Smith and he's not forcing it, it works. And Will Smith really works really well in this role fantastically. I can't complain about Will Smith's performance in this movie. Joel Edgerton, who plays the orcish cop, he's fantastic in it as well. And I heard that really what got him into this role, or what he wanted to take with this role, is the idea of him being under all that makeup, him basically having to try to act with all that stuff on. Don't think he's ever really done that type of role before, so this was something that he really wanted to go for, and he did a fantastic job with this role. You really feel his character under all of the latex and the makeup that he's having on. He plays it really well, and he plays a character that's he's very conflicted, and he's struggling, because on one hand, he wants to have a devotion to being a cop. He wants to be a cop. He wants to be the best he can be at being a cop. At the same time, he is also an orc, and he wants to still be an orc and still sort of be that tough, gruff kind of orc that, people expect you to be. And so he's kind of struggling with those two worlds. And I thought that the chemistry between him and Will Smith was fantastic. I love the rapport between them. I thought the comedy was fantastic. I thought they had a lot of really wonderful sort of back and forth between them that it just kind of reminded me of early Will Smith films, that he had a great connection with other actors, whether it was Jeff Goldblum or Tommy Lee Jones, and had that kind of great rapport back and forth between them. And him and Joel Edgerton have that. It's really actually very dynamic. I really like that a lot. Noomi Rapace is also in this movie. She plays sort of this elf who owns the wand and wants it back. She's not going to do good things with the wand. Very evil, dark things with it. And I like Noomi Rapace in this. And I like Noomi Rapace in general. I don't think she's used incredibly... I think she's not used as much as I wanted her to be in this movie, but I still think she actually did a really fantastic job with this role that she has. So I give her a lot of credit with that. I think she did a great job with it. And I think all the actors do a really great job with what they have in this movie. It feels definitely like a very gritty sort of cop drama. Something that you would see in a Training Day or Dark Blue or End of Watch, which David Ayer also directed. So David Ayer is a perfect fit for this movie, and David Ayer really directs this movie really well. He plays it like a cop drama. So he's not playing it like it's a Lord of the Rings fantasy movie, even though it is, and you have these fantastical creatures living in this world. He plays it like it's an everyday LA that these guys have to go and deal with the scum of the earth, whether it's, an orc dispute or, some sort of human with a sword or something. He treats it like an everyday LA situation. And I appreciated that. He didn't try to over make it this big sort of fantasy film, which I think could happen. You could have a director who wants to go more that direction. He didn't do that. And I also give credit to Max Landis, who didn't write it like that either. He wrote it like a very gritty cop drama. And he's even also been cited in interviews saying that this script, he wanted David Ayer to direct it. So he actually wrote it specifically for David Ayer, and I think it works like gangbusters. You know, it's interesting because people have complained about this movie. They've complained about it not being uh, as effective as they wanted it to be, that the chemistry isn't really good, Will Smith isn't good in it, the premise falls short, bad acting, terrible directing, screenplay's terrible. I've been on the internet, guys. I've seen everything that has been heard about this movie, and I'm gonna tell you guys right here and now, I disagree with everything. I love this movie, and that's not to say people who don't like it are wrong. If you don't like a movie, you don't like a movie. It's the same thing as me. If I don't like a movie and I tell you guys that I don't like a movie, that's just my opinion. That's one opinion out of millions of other people who have seen the movie. But I really do love this movie a lot. And, this is the highest budget film that Netflix has done yet. This is a big investment that Netflix has made. And it's absolutely paid off. They've already signed up for a sequel to do that, so we're getting a Bright 2 regardless of what anybody thinks. And the idea that basically these type of movies are very rare. We don't get these type of movies. The last time I think we got something even close to this probably was well, there's obviously people go back to Men in Black, but I go back to like Alien Nation. I think Alien Nation was really the last time that we probably saw something like this. And I really respect Alien Nation, and I respect this movie as well. I think, like I said, I think the makeup is really well done. I think the CGI is really well done in this movie. I think that the acting is fantastic. The directing is fantastic. And look, I'm not going to spoil the movie for you guys. Definitely go on Netflix and check it out if you haven't done it already. But for me personally, look, I give Netflix credit for being bold and trying something new and interesting with this movie. I give David Ayer a lot of credit with this movie, especially doing a bounce back from Suicide Squad, which, yes, even though Suicide Squad made a ton of money, and even though it was very profitable for everyone involved, it wasn't a good movie. And some of that falls on David Ayer, others of that don't, but I think he really needed a movie where I thought he could have a really great sort of movie in his comfort zone, something that was different from Suicide Squad, but something that he knows and loves, and I think this was a fantastic movie for him to take on. Max Landis, who, look, I love Chronicle, but I don't think he's done a lot of great stuff afterwards. I think this was a great movie for him to write, and I hope that these guys team back up for Bright 2. I hope Max Landis comes back to write. I hope David Ayer comes back to direct. I know Will Smith and Joel Edgerton are already signed up to come back to the sequel, so I'm looking forward to what they do. I think there's a lot to expand on with this film. I think the mythology is really cool and very interesting. I like the creatures, I like the LA setting. Honestly, I'm a fan of this movie, guys. And I really do sort of respect the uniqueness of this movie, especially when sometimes in Hollywood we're getting a lot of cookie cutter films. It's kind of nice to have something a little different. And I think that Bright fills that void, and I'm really proud that Netflix is bold enough to do these type of films, that they're able to do a variety of stuff, whether it was Gerald's Game that I've reviewed before on Netflix Nights, or The Babysitter that I reviewed as well. These are cool little films that I think Netflix really wants to invest in. They really want to invest in original content, bold content that people can come to Netflix and watch and feel like they're really getting their money's worth watching what they're getting. And I feel like Netflix wants to sort of tackle just the industry and just say, like, we can do interesting things. You don't have to go to the movie theater to have a good time and watch a quality movie. And I think Netflix is really doing that, and I appreciate that a lot from them. And yeah, this is a recommend, guys. So, hate me all you want. I'll probably get some hate for this, but I really do enjoy the movie, guys, and I really think that you guys should check it out if you haven't already. But let me know what you guys think. I want you guys to tell me what you think of Bright, good or bad. What'd you think of the movie? What'd you think of the acting, the directing, the CGI, the makeup effects? What'd you think of everything? And do you think that this is a film that could have even gone to the movie theater? I think it could have, but I'm happy that it found a home at Netflix. And I just wanted to say before I leave for this one that I will be switching up how I do these Netflix nights from now on. I will not be doing them every week. I will be doing them every other week. And just so you guys know that, so next week I will not have a new Netflix nights. The week after I will. So that's going to be what the schedule will be from now on. But I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Netflix nights and tell me what you guys think of those. Also, check out the Blu-ray DVD out and about videos, the Blu-ray pickup videos, the regular movie reviews, all of that on the channel. And if you love what you see and are a lover of movies, just like I am, hit subscribe and become part of the Film Fan Nation, where lovers of movies come and, enjoy and chat it up. And I'm also on Twitter and Facebook, FilmFan108, so check me out there as well, guys. Alright, can't wait to hear what you guys have to say in the comments section. But until then, I will see you guys next time for another Netflix Nights. Take care, guys.